So did you talk to any of the people who called you today?
I did. One of them couldn't really get a signal, so I sent him on.
Okay.
And the other one got a signal. When we got to the point about how he could support, he said that if it helped him, he would definitely support it. But he didn't really know how. So I found that I offered ideas. I told him about the bumper stickers we give out. And I said how it, when people make a donation, that helps them to feel a sense of, I guess, a buy-in or responsibility to, not just, to follow through with it. And he agreed with that. But he couldn't think of any on his own, any way to support. So I found myself giving him ideas.
Which is okay. Thing is that when he got the signal, at that moment, it had helped him. But he didn't know that. You notice that? Like he said, well, if it helps me, but he had already gotten a signal when he said, if it helped. So, see, what you really, you missed again, because the whole point of this is person gets, when he got the signal, did you do more questions and like ask him, can I kill a virus? Did you
we did all that. We went further.
You did a bunch of things, you gave him a bunch of things to test. And then at that point, were you able to say, okay, do you feel any different? And did he feel different? Did he feel different? Did you ask him?
Yeah, we did. I did ask him that. And he said he felt better. He felt a little better.
Okay, and then when you asked him to support, he said, well, if it helps me, and he was completely unconscious that it had already helped him, and so were you.
Yeah, okay.
So you're unconscious. What you're trying to do is wake up. You need to become conscious.
Right.
You need to wake up. You need to know that it helped him. You need to be looking at him and seeing that he's unconscious. And you won't be able to see that if you're unconscious with him. The two of you are laying there unconscious. And then you'll go running this outline and you won't be connected to it.
Yeah, okay.
So you're running the outline, but you have to be conscious to actually do the things it tells you to do.
To be present. And
so this is
like how you reminded me the other day that anytime you do a removal and you feel a little better, that's it. That's curing.
right.
And so I have to remember that is curing itself. And it's a lot of little cures that add up to a big cure, to the final result.
So talking to these people is obviously good for you, yes?
It's good.
Because you're seeing what's wrong with you. You would never see that if you hadn't talked to this guy.
Yeah, so true.
You'd be skipping along. Oh boy, I'm volunteering for the cure stuff. I'm so happy. It's so great. I'm curing everything. Wow, it's wonderful.
Everything's great. Yeah.
And you wouldn't know what's wrong. And also, you wouldn't know without me, because I may be the only person on the cure team who would point this out to you at this point. And what we need on the cure team is more people than me pointing this out. And you could be the other one. If you can become more conscious, then you can point it out to Greg. And then, but see, you have to, like, you notice how insistent and relentless I am?
Yeah.
Being the way you are isn't going to work. You're going to have to change, and like if you want to point this out to Greg, you can't just say this to him and walk away and say, oh, I said it, I told him. He didn't hear it. Get it?
Yeah.
They don't hear it.
Right. Uh-huh.
I just told Greg I wanted him to hook up tomorrow's meeting, and he went, meeting? He doesn't look at Facebook or tweet.
I would have seen it if you tweeted it.
Right.
We talked about it on Sunday when we were talking about the interest, Greg.
That's actually true. I had forgotten it, but that's right. Oh dear. It's worse than I thought.
How come I didn't put it in the book then? Oh, wait a minute. This is Tuesday we're talking about, right? Tuesday or Wednesday? Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, okay, so 12:30 my time.
That's right.
Okay.
Are you there, Alejandro? The picture's up.
Hello, Anna. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Alejandra.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Alejandra.
Hello, Baez. Hello, Francis.
Alejandra,
Yes.
you can call me Bayardo.
Alejandro.
Bayardo is my Spanish name.
Yeah?
Mi nombre en español es Bayardo.
I know. Well, I can't pronounce your name anyway.
So how are you, Alejandra?
Yeah, I've been doing fine. Yeah, working. Yeah, I fixed my computer finally.
Oh, good. The keyboard?
Yeah,
Yeah. That's good.
I know.
Did you have to get a new one?
No, my son actually fixed it for me.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but I still have, I think I need a new computer. This is very old.
Mine's really old too. It's slow.
But what happened with the two of you talking? Were you going to actually meet and do sessions together, or just talk about something?
We talked a little bit. Yeah, we met one time and we talked about bumper stickers and things like that. I don't know what else did we talk about.
Alejandra, are you curing anything? Are you testing and doing?
Yes, every single day. Every single day I cure different things, and even now with removing things from my friend and from family. So I'm trying to be relaxed, especially all my family surrounded.
Yeah, you've been working on your aunt, right? Or with your aunt?
I haven't, not yet because she's been busy. But I'm working on now on my friend because they found out she has Parkinson's disease. So we work with Rosetta on Sunday. And after that we work because it feels so different, so light and so with more confidence.
Good.
And then I called her actually and said to me she was feeling fine because I spent the day with her and she was in a lot of pain and sad.
Mm-hmm.
So we working on that with her and when I called her, she was very happy actually. I realized actually it was good.
Mm-hmm.
So and every day I'm working with her. So I'm gonna. She know what I'm doing, so she's quite happy with that. But the problem is she don't have computer and she doesn't understand English at all. So she's 74 years old.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you're trying to clear it for her?
Yes.
Uh-huh. I have a friend on who has Parkinson's disease, and her medications are really expensive. That's what she told me. Well, she doesn't pay for it, but they're expensive.
Well, in here, at least she's on the pension and she receives she has some discount from the government. So it's quite. But the other thing is her husband, and he has Parkinson's too.
Oh,
And he must go.
Mm.
So I'm gonna try to 2 times a week to stay with her. So and working together. Yes. And myself, I'm feeling very relaxed. I'm going out. And yesterday I went out. I took the little dog, my brother's, and it was fun.
Hi, Anna. It's Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Hi. Is anybody? Who's on the call?
So we've got Anna and Greg, Alejandra, Franny, and Bayard.
Oh, wonderful. Hi, everybody. So everyone's on.
Bayardo.
Great.
And we're trying to get Barb, and haven't heard from her.
I can't get hold of her.
Got a busy social life.
So what I heard happen before is Greg asked if you and Alejandra spoke. Is that what? And what happened when you two spoke? Is that what he was asking you?
Yeah, he was.
And you said we talked about bumper stickers and a couple of other things, and that was it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you really didn't actually, you notice like you sort of avoided answering him.
Uh-huh.
Does that feel real to you, that you kind of avoided answering his question?
I don't think avoided. I think, well, now I'm remembering more that we talked about how Alejandra's improving with her, with her practice, and she's getting more confident. But you could explain that, Alejandra, if you want to.
I didn't understand. I didn't understand what you said, Anna. What did you just say just now? Say it again.
That we also talked about Alejandra and how she's feeling more comfortable going out. Feeling more relaxed and like that. And we just talked about different comedic actions that she could take and just to improve. And she just now said she's been doing a lot of mimics all the time, every day. So that's great.
And okay, also I noticed that Greg really didn't find out how your conversation with Alejandra went. And then he asked Alejandra if she was curing anything.
Correct.
Right, Anna?
Yes. Uh-huh.
So, obviously, Greg didn't want to step on anybody's toes either. He was like trying to avoid, he asked a very good question, but he wasn't ruthless and relentless. You get it? Do you understand, Anna, what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, that right now I'm the only ruthless, relentless person here, except maybe you could be.
Uh-huh.
How likely is that?
Yeah, I could be it. We could all be it, right?
Could, yes.
Come on, guys.
We could all be it. About how close are you to being it? Do you want to be ruthless and relentless?
I haven't really. Yeah, I'll take a stab at it. I'll try to, if it helps people, right? If it helps people improve.
Well, is me doing it helping you?
Yeah, a lot. So it does. What do you think, Ray?
See, that's just like this guy, the person you were talking to a while ago, that you were telling us about this person, how you didn't realize that the person already was helped by it.
Yeah.
Until I asked you, and just now, you didn't realize that it's important to be ruthless and relentless until I asked you. I have to ask you a point-blank question. It's like you're not seeing it without being asked. You need to see it without me asking you.
Yeah.
Your first step towards ruthlessness and relentlessness is perception, okay?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about being perceptive?
Yeah, that's great.
That you like, right? Feels good, yeah?
Yeah, it does.
Perceptiveness feels good, okay. So we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere in this conversation. You want to be more perceptive. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Now, what are you getting out of handing out bumper stickers?
Well, seeing how people react, being surprised when they support me.
So you're surprised when people support you?
Yeah, it's like, well, it's a good feeling. It's a nice, surprising feeling.
Yes, so that's a learning experience, isn't it? That they will support you.
Yeah.
That is a learning experience. You're learning something about the world, about yourself, about your possibilities and your chances, right?
Right.
Does Alejandra need to hand out bumper stickers?
I think it would be good for her.
Yes, but that's not the question I asked you.
Oh, does she need to?
It's a yes-no question. What did you just say? You just said yes?
Yes.
Okay. Did you tell her that when you talked to her?
Not so point blank. No, I didn't.
There it is. See that it's not. You weren't ruthless and relentless.
Well, this is amazing training, by the way, Buyer, because you're really amazing around this stuff. You do this for years with thousands and thousands of people. Some of them I met.
Right.
And your trainings. So, Anya, this is an amazing opportunity. It sounds simple what he's saying, but it's really transformational. So, what I would like to say maybe is that you're talking about perception and you're training her to see something and then respond, and it's from this commitment. And seeing something and then being committed to this thing that you want people to help people. Well, you know what? When you see something and you don't do something, what does that do to you? You know what I mean? That's one question I have.
It makes you
to
sick.
either one of you.
Yeah.
And the second thing is,
makes you
in your
sick.
perception, to train yourself to just be bold and respond and see what happens. Because you're seeing something. And your withholding is an old pattern maybe, and seeing something is what he's talking about. And then responding from this bold place, and then sort that out with the person.
Karen? Karen?
Yeah.
The question you asked, what does it do to you? It makes you sick.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. And I wasn't being bold because
when you see something,
you're the coach here, but
when you see
I would
something,
imagine that puts something in there.
Yep.
That is not well.
When you see something, so see what's happening. Anna, have you ever thought that maybe you see a lot more than you let yourself know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Barb and Ron just got online.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay. So
Like
maybe you don't
know
want to
something.
see, maybe you don't want to see things, because if you see things, maybe you kind of know that if you see things and don't act on them, you'll make yourself sick.
Yeah. Well, I think for me it's learning how to talk to people, and I don't want to make them, I don't want to be hard on them, but
You don't want to be hard on them? Why?
I think you're being hard on them when you're actually direct, when you're in relationship with them. I don't think you recognize it as a relationship. I think you think actually talking directly to someone is hard on them.
yeah, maybe.
So you feel something hard.
Or that, I don't know, that I'm being bossy or something like that. So,
Except when you know something like this, when you see something, then you know you see something, don't you? Don't you know you see something?
yeah,
You notice something. When you notice something, that's from some kind of place in you that knows. And for you not to share it, regardless of what it is not good for either one of you. That's something that's a knowing that's there. I mean, that's the most simplest way I can say it. And you have to trust that more and more and more, because it didn't occur to you for no reason, out of nowhere.
yeah, it's a little bit of that block of telling people what to do. But,
Well, there's a way to share it with tact, and it doesn't have to be socially correct either. It can come from, you know what, do you mind my saying something that I'm noticing right now, since we're being intimate or we're talking like this? You can't say that?
no, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, can't you just say that? I mean, that's kind of,
All right.
I have no problem being direct. In fact, I could probably use a little more truth, but I'm the other extreme. The thing is that I know what damage I've done when I've withheld information, and it might cost me something in the moment. They might not like me, or they might, some stupid thing. But the thing is, my withholding it is like, it makes me, I contract so much around it. And I know that I didn't say something to protect my ass. And it was like, what is that? To look good? You know, I'm just sharing my own thing. I could give you all kinds of examples, but, you know, it's kind of like, well, and if you want to do no harm, you won't if you're doing it lovingly. You can't. You can't. You're loving people by telling them the things they need to hear. It's not like you're saying, I don't like your haircut. You know what I mean? You're talking about their health and their well-being.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's critical sometimes. And you don't even, you can't realize it. If you hadn't said, there are times when I thought, I wish I'd said something. I don't say that anymore. I don't have to say that anymore.
So can we get specific? Can we?
Well,
I mean, let's. What can we?
I mean, when someone's ill, when somebody's ill and they have a condition, yeah, it's really a touchy situation to say. Well, gee, you could even say, do you want to talk about that a little bit? So if you need more information and you're uncomfortable, say, do you feel like talking about that a little bit? What's going on with you about that? Whether it's emotional, physical.
I understand. See what I'm asking here. I understand that. Rather than making a general statement about people and just talking about Anna in this case, talking to her. What can we test? Or Anna's, is this a symptom of you? You test is not talking to people because you're going to be hard on them. Is that a symptom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in other words, there's some dysfunction there.
Right. Afraid to hurt somebody or, be, when I don't really know.
So you're protecting them? Is that what the dysfunction is?
It's probably myself. Protecting myself.
Well, let's test these things. So are you protecting yourself?
Yeah.
And so what protecting about yourself?
So it's probably, it's the whole thing of, I don't want to hurt somebody, I don't know what they're going through, I don't know, I don't want to impose myself on them.
Well, wait a minute, that happens, those are thoughts you have when you're in the dysfunction. So that's not the dysfunction, that's just more description of the dysfunction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not really a reason. These are things you're thinking of. So you dig yourself a different hole. A deeper hole. If you just talk about the dysfunction, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. So how do we actually cure this? What do you actually do to cure this?
Well, I like what Karen said. Use tact. So use tact and take a stab at it.
So in that case, you're actually doing the opposite.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Talk to Alejandra right now the way you should have talked to her when you spoke to her the other day. Start.
Okay. Okay. So Alejandra, I think it would be really helpful.
We saw you come online. I wondered if you were in the cure team.
Because that would put you in a position where you would.
We don't know whether you're in the meetings or not anymore. We don't. It's because you weren't at the last one.
But you would be working through it in that moment. And
anyway, so would you
even
mind
if you stay out there for a couple
clarifying that at
minutes
least for us at some point?
If you want, I
do
could
it
be on the
tomorrow if
phone
you don't
with
get
you
this till then, okay?
and help you through it while you're standing there. That would be like a really quick way to work through some of your panic.
That would be great.
Yeah?
Yeah, but it feels, like I said, I still need to feel more confident in that sort of situation. But in here, actually, people, they don't like to be because on the cards and things like. But with Mobila, I used to make my own business card with the Q-Tribe logo, and even talking in my street at least, talking with people how to have for me is more easy that way.
Yeah, and I do that too. Well, what I found is it seems like that's a slower way to go about it. If you really want to make a quick impact on yourself and how you feel, you're probably going to come out of, like, even if you did it for 5 minutes, you would come out feeling like elated almost, I think. That's how I feel when I do it, is like, wow, and you know, I mean, and then you can test how many things you cured if you want, and there's like some days I've tested hundreds. Like it's like, so in a few minutes you're curing hundreds of things. It's like a, what?
It's very good at you to know about. So I guess I, give it a try and see what I know.
Okay, good.
And I can be on the phone with you if you want.
Yes.
That was very helpful.
Like I'd be right there.
Great. Okay, stop.
I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that was good. Now, you know, I want to look at what you did, because let's start by just saying it was good, it was great. Alejandra, you rallied to it. I thought you were wonderful too. So with that, I just want to focus on Anna, and I want to try to get the most we can out of observing what you did, okay?
Okay.
Franny, go ahead. Just say it. Just say it. Don't ask permission, for God's sake. Come off
Well,
mute.
you were in the middle of saying something. Well, one thing I noticed is that you do a lot of mitigation in the way that you speak. It's kind of like, well, if that's okay with you, and maybe you should try this, and oh, if you did it a few times, you might feel. You have to say, do it 5 times, and then tell me what it was like, and just get all the other mitigating phrases out of there.
Okay.
Now, before we talk to you, Anna, if you don't mind, I want to talk to Franny a little bit.
Okay.
Franny, come off mute, please.
Yes, I am off mute.
You were saying the other day that you don't even feel like you can be on the cure team because you can't talk to anybody.
Right.
That is absolute bullshit, as we see from this interaction with Anna.
Well, today I don't feel as much like that as I did the other day.
It was a lie. It was always a lie. You're like the best person we've got to talk to people. You always were. And like what you said to Anna just now shows what a master you are.
Well, it's kind of more like technique, though.
It's not technique, it's reality. Like what you're telling her, this is not a technique. You were saying she's mitigating herself. That's not a technique. I have never seen you be ill at ease talking to anyone.
Well, you've never been in my shoes, then.
You're the boldest person I've ever known. Do you know that Franny was being harassed in the street by some guy once, and she whipped around and threw him through a plate glass window?
No, come on, but you always exaggerate everything.
And then there was another guy who was walking and saying things to her and stepping on her heels, and she turned on her heel and just looked at him, and he ran.
No. Let me tell a story. There was one time I was walking down the street, and this guy came up and he started saying all these things to me. And for a second, I realized that I wanted his approval. And when I didn't want his approval anymore, I felt really great, and I just walked away. And the thing about the guy, I never put anybody through a plate glass window. Come on now, Bart. Except my childhood friend when we were horsing around. I think that's where he made everything confused.
Yeah, maybe.
But there was a guy, and he was, I don't know, he just stepped in front of me like, it seemed to me like on purpose, and I shoved him aside. And he followed me like for blocks, and he was saying, if you weren't a woman, I'd beat the shit out of you, and all that kind of stuff. And finally I just turned around and I said to him, well, I'm sorry. And he like looked at me like, huh? And I just walked away, and he didn't know what to say.
Well, anyway, both of these stories...
Oh, I did turn around the park. The guy was following me around the track, and I turned around, and I finally said, I'm going to have to hurt you, and I ran after him, and he ran off. That was the one. It was there's like all these different stories that you're sort of training.
Okay, all these stories show mastery. It doesn't really matter about the stories I thought I knew. Because you're masterful enough with these, okay? So, gosh, I'm sorry I made this tea so strong. God.
Uh-oh.
And you know, Franny, from the minute that I met you, you were always someone that, no, from the house, it was like, she doesn't say very much, but boy, she have a presence, you know? It's like, you held it all. It was like, there's something about you that doesn't have to have language. So, I don't know what you're talking about right now, but...
Well, we're just saying that,
Franny, you've always found the words. You don't say much, but when you do.
But inside of myself, I feel differently, like, I don't know.
Franny cured her herpes, and she can put up notices like anybody else on Facebook, on movies, and she can get calls and talk to people and practice, just like the rest of us. That's what we're saying. You know, she is no more unqualified to do that than anybody else. She's way more qualified than most of us. So back to Anna. When you were talking to, if you notice, like also when you were talking to Alejandra, you changed it to 5 minutes from 10 minutes, and so forth. Right? Remember?
I changed the amount of time that you would be out there.
That's what Franny meant by mitigating.
Yeah.
See, because if okay, I'll be you and you be Alejandra, okay?
All right.
Let's try like straight from the shoulder communicating. Oh, and Barb, maybe you could turn your camera on. That might be nice to be able to see you, or wouldn't it be? Only you know for sure.
What?
Said I want to be more like Fran, not talk and not be seen.
Okay, so anyway, you're Alejandra and I'm you, okay?
All right.
Okay, look, Alejandra, you need to do what I'm doing.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay, well, number one, you need to go out, hand out bumper stickers for like 10 minutes, probably not on your street, like I found a stop sign and I hand them out when cars slow down, so that's how I do it. I talk to the people in the cars when I try to flag them down, talk to them. Okay? Get the idea?
oh, yeah, I do.
Okay. So I usually spend about 10 minutes. I'm planning to spend 20 minutes starting tomorrow. Or if I don't have time, I'll just spend 10 minutes, but some days I want to try to spend 20 minutes. And also, I've been putting my phone number on other people's YouTube movies to call me and cure herpes. And you know what? I would be on the phone with you, and I would, help you. Even when you're out, if you want. I have a smartphone, so you could call me anytime. We could connect on Skype over my smartphone. And if you have and also you need a smartphone if you don't have one. I don't know what you got, but you need a smartphone. You can study a lot harder with a smartphone, and you could also talk to me a lot easier with one. So I don't know what kind of service they got there and stuff, if it's feasible, but if it is at all feasible, you should have a smartphone because you'll get well a lot faster with one. And what else? We've been running this outline, and I will train you how to use the outline if you want. I will do this with you. I'll get on the phone with you, and I'll go over the outline with you and help you understand what your blind spots are. And you can really become a brave, clear, masterful, perceptive person. And it would help me too, because the best way to learn something is to teach it. So you would be helping me if you do this. If you allow me to help you do this, I will learn by helping you. So you will be helping me. Okay? And I'll be very grateful to you if you do this. Okay, so cut. And I just want to say, before you say anything, that I think that you were present in this way that I was illustrating when you were talking to her for real. And you said some of those things. I got some of those things from listening to you. And you said them, and it was for real, and that's really good. So, you know, I'm impressed. So I'm still training you, but I'm also very impressed. I just want you to know that.
Okay, work on the mitigation now. Thanks, Franny. Good.
I think you have, like Byron was saying, perception. You have to hear it. That's why we say it over and over again, so that when you're in the middle of it, you're aware of it. Like I knew when I asked you about Alejandro, I was leading towards what was going on there, but I didn't follow up, and I knew it. I knew I'd stopped right there. So from then you can change your course. So
We can all be a little more relentless with each other, and it would be okay.
well, or to the point, you know, direct about it.
That's right. So this is probably a good time to say our first prayer. I just want to mention that Greg is hooking up our 12:30 meeting tomorrow. And I'm expecting Anna, Barb, and Franny. And I would also like to invite Karen, if you're free to come, if you'd like to.
I'm leaving, I'm working tomorrow, and I'm leaving for Philadelphia for the first time in 2 years. So.
Oh my God. Oh, well, enjoy your trip.
Yeah, I haven't seen my family or anybody.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Wow.
when I get back, I'm going to try to get my schedule together so I can rework my schedule.
Well, we don't usually have meetings on Tuesdays. It's just a special meeting, just so you know. So, but anyway,
Thank you.
You don't have to try to work Tuesday into your schedule. All right, and with that, why don't we say the continuous cleansing prayer? Now, who will do the prayer? How about Barb? You've always been good at it.
Okay, I gotta get it on the screen here.
Not too fast.
Continuous cleansing.
Also, you know, it could take weeks to send Alejandro bumper stickers, so really Alejandra's shot at doing something right now. And
I'll deliver them.
is to Barb will deliver is to for her to put comments on movies, because then she'll get calls, and you know, you could actually call people together if you were on Skype.
They have a mailing that goes very inexpensively. I'm trying to think, I'll try to figure out what it is and maybe call Barb. And because I send stuff to Australia, and it's been a while, but it's a very cheap way to do it and fast. So I will look into that tomorrow morning.
Oh, good.
Email. Okay.
You know, Nell was handing out bumper stickers in Australia a few months ago. She got a bunch and went to Australia. Her son lives there. So she was visiting him. She was there for like a couple of months, I think. Well, if you go to Australia, you'd probably want to stay there for a while, you know. It takes 3 weeks.
It's a long flight, let me tell you.
Really?
Ugh, horrible.
Okay, back to Bart. You got the prayer ready to go?
Yep.
Okay. Onward.
When I get my signal, all my bodies are free of pathology.
Yes.
What happened to Ron?
No.
Okay. Okay. All my bodies are free of immune dysfunction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All my bodies are at full function.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
All my I've installed all necessary immunological shields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All my God connectors are in.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm installing the reflex to give love and empowerment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I attract warm, happy feelings in others.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 I'm merging my results bodies with and choose some people, and I'm removing and installing the right factors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm on the best side of my highest possible dimension.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm removing all tendencies in the world to solve problems with violence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 I'm removing all disturbances from the emotional bodies of everyone in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do that for the people in my neighborhood, in my building. I'm protecting myself and my people from incipient catastrophes.
Yes.
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 I'm realizing the loving, world-shaping, and God-given intentions I've carried from life to life.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm causing my career and those of the people I love to be what God intends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 I'm attracting increased capacity in myself and in my group to accept power infusion.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 My particle attributes are in balance and at full strength to succeed at God's work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
All my bodies are in God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's here? All my bodies are one rainbow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I am free.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm now as happy as I've ever been.
There's a kitty.
Yeah.
She's looking up. She came in here.
Yes.
That concludes the continuous cleansing for
Pain in
Thank
the
you,
ass
Barb.
prayer.
the pain in the ass. Get yourself on to square zero prayer.
You know, there's something I want to explain to everybody about the dimensions. Do you guys feel like listening to something about the dimensions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I didn't originally access the dimensions. It was, when I discovered this kind of testing, I sent two women who were on staff to our Philadelphia house, and I told them, do a lot of testing and find out things, because it was obvious that I was finding out things that I didn't had never guessed or dreamed of. For one thing, by the way, Anna, have you removed the lower dimensional disabilities?
Yeah, I believe I have.
Like how about the alien irradiation incidents?
I have looked at that a couple times, so I think I did.
Yeah, well, when I discovered that, I was testing people's arms, and they didn't know what I was testing for. And see, there was they all tested for 4,500 and 6,300 years without being told that those were the right numbers. So I knew there was something there, back there in those times, that had happened on a very huge scale to maybe everybody on Earth. Because there were just so many people who were testing for those numbers. And so I figured there probably is a lot of other things that I don't know that people could test about. And so that was Chrissy and Jamie went to Philadelphia with a friend who did their cooking and so on, took care of them while they were doing a lot of testing. And one of the things they accessed was dimensions. And that, I don't remember exactly how far they got with it, but anyway, at some point, I discovered that there were 144 dimensions. And I started thinking about Meher Baba, and Meher Baba used to say that there were 7 planes of consciousness. Back when I was a kid and I started out with Meher Baba, he said, there were 7 planes of consciousness. And he said that most people are not even close to the first plane. So the vast majority of humanity are light years away from even being on the first plane of consciousness. And so I was wondering, what does that have to do with dimensions? And I started testing about it. And what I discovered was that the first plane of consciousness starts on the 92nd dimension. And that the second plane starts on the, I think it was the 108th dimension. And the third started on the 117th, and the fourth on the 123rd to the 127th, or maybe it was the 127th. Yeah, to the 127th, and so forth. So this would be why, because most people are 6-dimensional, so truly they are way far away from the 92nd dimension, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Now, I learned more about the planes from another book that was about Meher Baba called The Wayfarers. It was published, I guess, in the 1950s or something. And we have the book somewhere. I don't remember very much about the author or anything. If anybody knows the author, you can let me know. But it's a classic, and it might be, it might be available still. They might have reprinted it. But Meher Baba, okay, we have to understand that. Barb, go on mute.
It's not me making noise, but I will.
Okay. Greg, go on mute. Everybody go on mute. Thanks. Okay. But Annie, you stay off mute because it's nice to have one person I feel like I'm talking to, okay?
Okay.
Then we'll see if that scraping is you. I'll tell you to go on mute. So, the word is must. It's spelled like mast, but it's pronounced must. You ever hear this word before?
Yeah, I heard you talk about it. And I have that book too.
You have The Wayfarer?
Yeah, I read part of it.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you know this, but I think it says in the book that there are two kinds of musts. See, for one thing, Meher Baba said that most advanced souls live in India. And they always have. So that's why you didn't hear too much about advanced souls in London, for example. You know, or whatever, you know, or Seville, you know, because mostly they lived in India. And there were thousands of them there. And there's two kinds, according to Meher Baba, and they have a word for I think it's Hindi. One kind is Salik Masjubs, and the other kind is Masjub Saliks. You ever hear this?
Mm-hmm.
You know what they are, the difference?
No.
Okay. One of them is conscious of the plane that he's on, and the other one isn't. Like one kind, I can't remember which is which, but one kind seems like he is just a normal person. And Baba, you know, knew, like, there were a bunch of gurus, minor gurus, who would come and sort of surrender to Meher Baba and get his blessing, and then they go out and go on tour or see their followers or whatever. And most of them were the kind that were not immersed in the plane of consciousness, because the ones that are look like they're crazy. Like, I was, years ago in New York, when I was testing, I saw a guy, it was this homeless guy, and he was drinking filthy water from a bottle. And I realized this guy never gets sick. He can eat or he can drink out of a mud puddle and he'll never get sick. And I tested that he was, on an advanced soul. And his burn index, you know what the burn index is? His burn rate? It's one of the particle indexes.
Yeah, I know that. I can't recall.
But
Is that when you burn up all your disabilities and stuff?
You don't assimilate, you don't get sanskaras, you don't take them on, you're burning.
actually, no, you burn, it's a physical thing and you burn, but it comes from your higher bodies. It's generated in your higher bodies, goes through your physical body, and it burns up illnesses. So people with a high enough burn rate never get sick. But if their burn rate is too high, it kills them.
Yeah.
So it's not an ordinary particle index, because most particle indexes can go, whoa, way high. You know, like your apparency index can be the apparency index of Jesus Christ was in the millions, 20 million, you know. Most people's is about 50. And anyway, but with the burn index, if it's too high, you die. So, Jesus didn't get sick, but it wasn't because he had a high burn index. It was because he was, he was God realized. So, and in his particular incarnation as that, he just didn't get sick. There are other God-realized souls who get sick, or get diseases and so on. They have problems like that, but not Jesus. Anyway, so you have these people who are these advanced souls, and what's happening with us, of course, is that the other day you were testing that you were on the 144th dimension. Now, here's what Meher Baba said also. He said that he will take us through the planes of consciousness blindfolded so that we can get God realization without getting stuck on one of the planes, because that's what happens when people experience the planes. They can get absorbed in them and they get stuck there. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I was in India, see, Baba went on a tour. That was what the Wayfarers were about. It was called the Must Tour. And he visited like thousands of these advanced souls and bowed down to them and washed their feet and talked to them and gave them pushes in consciousness so that they advanced. He also had an ashram for only advanced souls. There were about 30 or 40 of them who came and stayed in the ashram for a while. I think most of them he went out and got and brought back there. And then when the work was done, he disbanded the ashram and they all went on their ways. But Muhammad, there was one must that stayed in India. And when I went to India, I was told not to go near him. The guy who was in charge of the lower Mehrabad said, don't go over and talk to Muhammad because he doesn't like people and he'll probably chase you away and he might hit you or hurt you or something. So, stay away from him. And so I was coming down the hill and I came around the corner and Muhammad was looking right at me. And he had this big grin on his face, so I said, well, he seems friendly enough, so I went over and I sat down. And I used to go sit with him in the afternoon. And whenever I'd come around the side of the house, he was always looking right straight at me. Baba had said about Muhammad that Muhammad was stuck on the fourth plane. And the fourth plane could be the 124th or 5th or 6th dimensions, where the person has like ultimate power, which is a very dangerous place because there's a story, for example, about a man who had got himself up to the fourth plane, presumably from thousands of years of diligent self-application over lifetime and lifetimes. And he was on the fourth plane and he decided to test his powers. So there was a flock of birds and he made the birds fall dead out of the air. Sort of like what we do with viruses. Except while we do that with viruses, we don't do it with birds. Right? I mean, you can't kill birds, right, with your testing? No, probably not, Or even if you could, you wouldn't want to, because there isn't much to eat on those little sparrows, Although, you know what? They used to serve sparrow pie. I bet it's pretty good. Anyway, now enough about that. What happens when you misuse your powers, you lose your consciousness. And you go back to being like, on the zero dimension. You go back to the zero dimension. And you have to start all over again. But in this case, a master appeared by this guy who had made the birds fall down. And the master made the birds rise up and fly away again. And then this guy realized his mistake. And he stopped misusing his powers and continued on, his spiritual path. So the idea here with Muhammad was that he said that Muhammad was stuck between the fourth and fifth plane, probably meaning he was, he was probably on the 127th or 8th dimension and couldn't get off the dimension, and Baba moved him. And he moved him up to the fifth plane. Now, when I started testing many years later, I was testing, how we work on people from a distance, like we were working on, Ross's husband when he died and so on.
Right.
Well, I was testing that Muhammad had been working on me for over 1,000 years from a distance. So Muhammad was a real ally for me, and it was meant that I was to meet him there and be his friend, such as it was. We didn't say very much. Muhammad was permanently stooped over because he seemed crazy to most people, not to me though. But he seemed crazy, and he would what he would do is he would stand squatting down, and he would search in the dirt. Like he'd be looking through the grains of sand, and he would keep saying "Dish, Dish," meaning that means God. You know, like I see God here. God is here among these grains of sand.
Mm-hmm.
So people were thinking, well, he's a little bit out of it, you know. But actually, Muhammad was pretty. You know, I always thought he was a pretty sharp little cookie, personally, and I felt like honored to be with him, and that we seemed to accept each other. I mean, there wasn't much to talk about anyway, you know. But I used to sit with him while he looked through the dirt, which he did incessantly. He never stopped, except to eat.
So what are the chances of going through 7 dimensions in a lifetime? Is that an impossible thing?
No, it's quite possible. It's just something that most people have never done.
Right. Do you know what plane you're on, Myers?
Well, let's put it this way. When you're on the 144th dimension, you're on the 6th plane.
Uh-huh.
Except you're probably not experiencing it. Like, Anna, let me ask you, like, what is the 144th dimension like when you go there?
Oh, what is it like? Well, to me it seems like unlimited possibilities.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Nothing is impossible.
Well, actually, you see, that's because you're veiled. That's what it looks like to a person, and that's good. You don't need to be unveiled. It's fine for it to be what it is for you, okay? And me too, you know. I don't want to, you know, be unveiled. But when, you know, to an unveiled person, it's like looking at 1,000 suns at once. You know, there was this gathering of advanced souls. And there was one advanced soul, and I read about him, I think he's in the Wayfarers, who would stand staring straight into the sun for hours. And it never burned his eyes or blinded him or anything. It didn't damage his eyes. And he kept saying, God, God, God. But in his language, the word was Jap. I don't know. They all speak, you know, they speak Telugu, Urdu, Hindi, Marathi, so you never know what language you're dealing with in India. But anyway, so this is just so you know, when you go through the dimensions, it is good to hold yourself on as high a dimension as you can, because you may, if you can stabilize yourself there, as Karen was saying, like that would be pretty good to go through the planes in a lifetime. When you were, before then you were 6-dimensional your whole life, and all of a sudden you now are able to go onto the higher planes of consciousness. And another thing is, one of Baba's disciples was this very old man who was very tall, and he had very serious osteoporosis. So he had broken wrists and, you know, various bones when he fell down and so on. And he was walking, somebody was helping him walk to, you know, his room, I guess, on the ashram. See, Baba only probably had about 40 disciples in his entire life. It was very hard to make disciple status with Meher Baba. You know, it was... I should tell you about some of Baba's disciples at some point, but that's probably for another meeting. But it was just extremely difficult. You know, he had millions of lovers, but there were only around 40 disciples. But anyway, this was one of his disciples, and his name was Kakabad. And Kakabad was like the happiest person I've ever seen. And you don't usually think that somebody who's breaking a lot of bones from osteoporosis, and he was probably like 90 years old and going to die soon, would be that happy, but he was like ecstatic, you know. And as he walked by, he looked at me and his eyes were like crazy, you know. And he said, I can see God. I can see God. And I said, what's it like? And he said, it's like 1,000 suns. So that was somebody who's on the sixth plane with, you know, like the 141st or second dimension and so on. And by the way, you know Ram Dass, the guru?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when he talks in his lectures, I think that he is often on the 141st dimension when he talks. That's more of a communicative dimension than the 144th. Mostly people who are, when they're, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but when you're on the 144th dimension, you may feel like not saying anything.
Yes, nothing. Well, what dimension were you talking about with Ram Dass?
The 141st is more like
First, okay.
of a communicative dimension. It's still the sixth plane.
Well, isn't it usually that way? I mean, when you're actually just being, it's one thing, but when you come down a little bit so that you can put it into words to give it to someone else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You on a little lower dimension, you keep sight of the higher dimension, but then you just speak from a little lower to make it accessible to them.
Right. I don't know if it's
Eckhart Tolle does that too. He does that very well. He traverses those two planes, and he speaks very slowly and deliberately, but it seems like an effort. And he's saying very simple things. Have you ever listened? Not when he's on Oprah. I've never seen him on Oprah, but he has broadcasts from India when he takes people there, and there are a series of DVDs on him, and it's very interesting to watch him.
He lives in India?
Carefully find words, like they have to come from somewhere.
He lives in India?
You know.
He lives in India, you say?
He was in India he takes groups of people, and he's there for periods of time. And there's a series that they did where they, I don't know if it was PBS, but I got it from the library, and it was a series of DVDs of what you could call lectures, but they're really, you know, it seemed difficult for him to find the simplest words because they were very well chosen, but he wasn't thinking them. They were occurring to him from the other dimension. And they were sequential, but they weren't in sentences that we would normally use. So I know what you're saying, Greg, and I see that he was doing that. I mean, a lot of speakers who are trying to deliver something from a consciousness that's higher. It's hard. It must attract trying to put it to words. It's like putting something into a smaller space than it deserves.
Well, I think this is probably a good time to say the gravitational strengthening prayer and do that one. So, Barb, can you oblige us once again?
You're on mute, I think, Barb.
Well, that's right, Barb, you're on mute.
Television. Are you watching your favorite program?
You're on the 144th dimension.
Well, TV platforms are not playing.
Don't have a thing to say.
Out of balance because of no TV. Okay, when I get my signal, I accept God's wisdom.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm digging through the dirt, Karen. I attract grace.
Yes.
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 I attract guides and guidance.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract knowingness and wisdom.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract the experiences I need so I can learn what I need to learn to do God's will.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've installed discrimination between people that win and ones that don't. And I've installed a reflex to drop the ones that don't win, even when I'm succeeding with them, and install a reflex to be with the ones that do win, even when I'm a beginner with them.
Yes.
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 Yeah,
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, like she said.
you're right.
Well, I got
Whatever you said, yes.
I have to do that 2 more times. I've installed discriminations between, we'll put these together, activities and locations that win and ones that don't, and install the reflex to drop the ones that don't win, even when I'm succeeding with them, and a reflex to do the ones that do win, even when I'm a beginner at them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm installing the reflex to dwell on solutions.
Yes.
Yeah.
I fulfill the hopes of my parents and my ancestors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm merging my results bodies with parents and ancestors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And removing and installing the right factors.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm doing these prayers for my family, loved ones, and soulmates, as well as for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I attract money and other wealth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract tools to fulfill my mission.
Yes.
Yeah.
I attract technologies to fulfill my mission.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract respect.
Yeah.
Yes.
I attract cures.
Yes.
I attract fame.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract health, wellness, and longevity.
Yes.
Yeah.
I attract remedies and antidotes to dysfunction.
Yes.
Yeah.
I attract gratitude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Attract fun.
Yes.
I love and name a person unconditionally. I love name a person unconditionally.
Yes.
I attract the love of my life.
Yes.
I let in love and nurturing.
Yes.
I attract my children and students.
Yes.
I attract astute and committed immuners.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract powerful, benevolent allies.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract people who appreciate and support me and my mission.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract people who will connect me to the people I need to talk to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I attract, and then just name some people I attract.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I attract forgiveness.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the last 5 minutes, I've become a bigger person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
For speedy growth, say this every 5 minutes. I attract, I do that sometimes. I attract worldwide awareness and use of immunics.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm leaving behind everything that slows me down.
Yes.
Yeah.
It dawned on me that could be negative ideas and thoughts too.
Yep.
I want nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except for what I want. I want nothing.
Yes.
I've done enough immunics on myself today to create a critical mass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your signal, take yourself there.
Yes.
Okay. That concludes the Feng Shui gravitational strengthening prayer.
Nice.
Thank you.
How's everybody feeling?
Good.
Mellow. I think you just
I knew somebody was going to say mellow.
Me too.
we had this woman when I lived in Cambridge and I had a house with some friends there. This woman dropped by all the time. She was always so mellow and she used to talk like this. So when she called on the phone, we'd say, "Oh, Mellow, how are you?" She never got it.
Oh,
We used to
God.
just call her Mellow. Hello, Mellow.
Or
Mellow.
maybe she was numb. It's a fine line between numb and mellow.
Anyway, I just tweeted that we were all rather high dimensionally.
Yeah, I feel very connected to humanity. Humanity and above and other disincarnate beings, non-physical beings.
Well, in that case, maybe this is a good time to say the noosphere prayer. What do you say, Barb? So we can launch.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Let's launch right into it.
Work on humanity. Okay, I'm raising the noosphere to the 27th dimension.
Yeah.
Yes.
By the way, we still have fires all over the place here, so
Ooh.
that's happening. Yeah, it's super hot. I'm removing all pathologies from the noosphere.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm adjusting the particle indexes of the noosphere so that they are in balance and at full strength.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm adjusting the meridians of the noosphere to create a free and balanced energy flow.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm adjusting the chakras of the noosphere to be at full function.
Yeah.
all the bodies of the noosphere are at full function.
Yes.
Yes.
The noosphere is unswitched and headed in God's direction.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm removing all impressions from the karmic body of the noosphere.
Yes.
I'm removing terrorism from the gravitational and spiral bodies of the noosphere.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm removing the tendency to use biological weapons from the gravitational and spiral bodies of the noosphere.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm merging my higher bodies with others who understand what we're doing.
Yes.
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 I'm removing any predisposition in the noosphere towards disease.
Yes.
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 All the bodies of the noosphere are one rainbow.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm now asking forgiveness of everyone I've ever harmed or will harm by not making immunities available to them faster.
Yes.
Yes.
When I get my signal, they've heard and received my request in their results bodies.
Yes.
When I get another signal, they have forgiven me.
Yes.
Yes.
Doing this helps them discover immunities for themselves without me needing to be better in order to give it to them.
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
Well, this has been a fun meeting, I will say. I'm so glad we did this. And I will see some of you tomorrow at 12:30 my time.
Okay.
You're going to be there, right, Barb?
Yeah, 10:30 a.m.
Yep.
Might not be bushy-tailed, but I'll try to be bright-eyed. You reminded me. Okay, cool. Thanks for doing this, everybody.
Good being with everyone.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. I love you guys. Yeah,
Alejandra, thanks for being so open with all of us.
yeah, you rock. Alejandro's a miracle worker, and so is everybody.
You're a miracle worker, Alejandra.
Yep. Amazing.
You're the best. Okay,
I'll talk to you soon, Ann. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow then.
And Anna, thanks for being such a good sport about everything.
Sure, you guys can pick on me.
She's
It
awesome.
just seems like that because you're way down there and we are so way up here. Right? I mean, that's what it seems like to you, right? No,
Oh, yeah. Not for long, though. I'm going to catch up.
well, if you put yourself in a hole, you'll always, like that.
Good place. You
You're
and
awesome, Anna.
teachers, yeah, you are. Perfect.
You are too, Karen.
Oh, yeah, Karen, I'm glad you're here, Karen.
Yeah, Karen,
glad
thank-
you're over there.
Thanks.
I think I can see you.
You see the homepage of curedrive.org, which is the Cure College on the web that we have put here for you to come learn how to cure medically incurable diseases. Now, at the top of the page, the homepage, which you should be on right here, and I want to recommend, if you have not already, get to this page by opening a tab. Do not turn this movie off. Open a tab so that you can still hear me talking. and leave this tab open and then go to this website. Now the tally that you see, 132K, people ask where does that come from? And if you notice right above it, and this is by the way on every page in the web college, it says report cure. If I click on that, it goes to a page where there's a little form to fill out where you can report your cures. Now I will press the incredible back button and go back to the home page of curedrive.org. And also, if you want to contact us, there's a little link here that says contact. And you'll notice that we put our phone numbers in here. We feel more comfortable being called on the phone. So it's just easier to talk, and this is a very big subject, and we find that it saves us time and work if people call us. Now we document our cures. This movie that you're watching here is an example of that. This is a movie where people cure things on camera, and you watch them. You watch them curing things. For example, the woman here and at this point in the movie is curing a flu, and if you watch this movie you'll discover that she comes in with fully developed flu symptoms, including headache and God knows what else, and the symptoms disappear in around 20 minutes. That's how fast this is. Personally, I have not had a flu even try to come on since 1993, when I cured my herpes. My 20th anniversary, by the way, just passed. 20th anniversary of my herpes cure in April of 2013. Okay, if you look again above the Cure Drive, logo, I guess it is. And what you'll see is the Cure Show. There's a link to go to the Cure Show. And the Cure Shows are another way that we documented our cures. And for example, you'll find letters at the top of the Cure Show, and if you click the letter F, it takes you to fibromyalgia, where you see a lot of, or two people curing fibromyalgia actually. And underneath it there are many, many shows on flu. We had a flu hotline. And what you'll find with this is that people with similar conditions get parallel results. Like these people who cured their flu, or I don't think we ever had a person come in to cure the flu that, you know, was just getting it. You know, they all had it for a couple of days. There they are. And they, you hear their flu cure during the call in around 20 minutes. So there are about 100 diseases represented on this page. Acid reflux, abuse. There are, you know, conditions can be considered diseases also. Oh, such as traumatic stress syndrome from 9/11, the, you know, World Trade Center attack. A woman actually cured her traumatic stress syndrome from that. So now if we're back on the home page again, and up here at the top it says Login Hub, and or sign up. If you don't have a password, you can sign up, or you can log in, and you come to the hub of the Cure College. This is the hub, not the home page. And new people who come here, many people just come in and get a password right away. They instantly get a password and come in, and they say, "What is this?" It's gigantic. Over here, this is the basic skill. Skill 1 is Cure Physical Diseases. And it has 10 applications. Remove viruses, cure cancer, end trauma, recode your DNA. With certain diseases, you must recode your DNA to cure the disease. This may be true, for example, of viral-based diseases such as herpes simplex, Epstein-Barr, and so on. And each one has 2 links underneath it. Now if I click on where it says Lessons under Recode Your DNA, and these are the lessons. There's a huge page of lessons on recoding DNA. And one of the lessons is remove adverse DNA mutations you catch from other people. Bet you didn't know you were doing that. But you do, and here's the lesson on that, and then you scroll down and there's all these questions. That's how the lessons work. You probably, if this is the first movie you've ever watched, you are probably not ready for a password right now. But you should probably know this is here at the same time, and some things about it. For example, here's an application of Skill 1, which is, what is Skill 1, do you recall? Cure Physical Diseases, right? And it's called the Safety Web. See it? Right here, the Safety Web. If I click on that, what I come to is a page of lessons about, and there's quite a few lessons on this page, about the Safety Web. Now basically, it's very simple. God isn't going to let you fail. A woman asked me, I was telling her to remove all bacteria from her physical body. And she said, well, if I remove all bacteria from my physical body, will I remove my beneficial intestinal bacteria? And I said, no. You're not going to remove your beneficial intestinal bacteria. You're going to, God won't let you do that. You're safe. However, there's more to the Safety Web than that. So you'd want to know about the Safety Web. Also, there's an application called Knowingness is Power. Most people ignore it. The reason it's here is because knowingness is curative. A lot of times things that you cure happen just because you know something. Now, curing physical diseases is the lowest level of study in this web college. For example, here, which is in the mid-level, there's a skill called 3 Spiritual Diseases. Do you see it? That's only skill 9. There are 12 skills. So another one is about function. Reinstall your functions. Another one is about reclaiming your immune system so that you can be immune to these things and you won't have to cure cancer or herpes. You won't not get it. As I said before, have not had a flu in 20 years. I haven't had a flu even try to come on in the last 20 years. Okay. If you're not ready for a password yet, and by the way, when you're new, you're probably better off with one of these options. These are the best options for new people, which are next to the movie. And that's when you know you want to start and you're ready. You're ready. You've like learned it and you understand how to do it. What you probably want to start getting a signal first. And if you notice under this movie, you should start getting a signal when you watch during this movie, which is now 4.5 hours, and there's many illustrations of people getting signals. So hopefully you'll pick it up while you're doing that. But if not, there's an entire page of signals, including a movie that plays automatically at the top, which is a very good lesson with a lot of very serious people getting signals as the movie goes along, illustrating how they get signals. And then there are all these other movies about signals as you go down the page. This little tripod is wandering, trying to hold this with my hand while I show this to you. So now, that's an example of some of the other things that are on here. This is our Twitter feed, this black thing, so that you can see what advanced people, because everybody who posts on this has been doing it for a while and, you know, are curing things. You know, a lot of these people have already cured their herpes or their other thing that they came to cure, their chronic fatigue syndrome and so on, and now they're, you know, this is just some things I cooked. It's not about cooking, okay? But anyway, there's, you know, lots of people just talking about what they're, you know, the more advanced things that they're doing. And these are all people who've cured many things in the past and probably never get the flu, as I don't. None of us ever get the flu anymore. We don't get sick in that way. That's pretty basic, not getting the flu. So if you're not ready for a password, the thing to do is just keep watching movies. And let me show you something about that. There are lots of movies to watch. Here's one that says I cured it in 10 minutes, and lots of people are interested in this. This is a popular movie. This woman is very experienced with this. She's been doing it about 15 years. And but see, if you go down on this movie to here where it says YouTube, and let's click on this. Let's go to the YouTube page, which is the same movie. See, you're on the same movie now. And right underneath it, there's something that says, let me just show this to you. Cure Drive is the account that the movie is in. And you see it says it has 352 videos. So the thing to do is to click on that and go in to the Cure Drive account with the 352 movies. And then, once you're there, subscribe to the account so that you can get back to it easily. And then there are other accounts too. This is not the only account. Some of them only have 25 movies. There's about 10 different accounts. But there's another one that has 250 something movies on it. This is deceptively simple and easy. As you watch these people in these movies, the cure is always instantaneous. And it gives the impression that it's over and you don't have to continue. You don't have to study. And then you get sick again because you didn't get deep enough and get everything. With that being said, I want to show you these women curing something instantly and leave you with the thought that it's probably not going to be what you expected it to be. I think when you watch these women, that's what you see here, that it's probably not going to be what you expected it to be, but it does cure, it probably will if you hang in there and stick with it. You probably will cure the thing you came to cure. Say, can I go to the 144th dimension? See if you get a signal on that. Can I go to the 144th dimension?
Can I go to the 144th dimension? Yes? I guess I can.
Go ahead and do it.
Okay, both of you go to the 144th dimension.
I'm taking myself to the 144th dimension.
Me too.
No stopping for gas on the 8th dimension.
I feel clear.
I feel less interested in anything below the 144th dimension.
Can we stay here all the time?
I know, exactly.